Video of the earthquake and over 100 aftershocks that have rocked Southern California. They have rattled plenty of nerves, and millions of people still on edge worrying about what might happen next. ABC's Ryan Owens is in Pasadena with the very latest. Good morning to you, Ryan.
Good morning, Lara. We're inside Caltech, the university where seismologists have had a very busy weekend. I want to show you something. That's a map of Southern California. You see all those little red dots right there? Each one of those an aftershock. They haven't caused any damage, but they sure take a psychological toll. The 5.1 magnitude quake wasn't the big one, but it was big enough. Watch how the jolt upstaged this high school musical Friday night. The earthquake's epicenter was in Orange County, about an hour's drive east of Los Angeles. The shaking did more than rattle nerves. Just look inside this man's house.
Everything was on the floor. Most of the dishes I have left are in the dishwasher.
Outside, it cracked some of his neighbor's foundations, broke water mains, even triggered a small rock slide. Nobody was seriously hurt, but what's happened since Friday has left a lot of people on edge.
Glass was everywhere.
More than 100 aftershocks this weekend, a couple pretty strong. Our affiliate KABC caught one on camera.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We are still feeling earthquakes.
Every time we have another aftershock, it rattles you. So the kids are more scared than anything.
There is a small chance, less than 5%, that this quake was a foreshock, a preview of a bigger one. Still, seismologists say it's only a matter of time. They say there's a 99% chance of a 6.7 magnitude or larger quake somewhere in California in the next 30 years. Seismologists assure us that all of these aftershocks are perfectly normal. The good news, we haven't had one strong enough to feel since Saturday night. So fingers crossed, George.
Our fingers are crossed for you, Ryan. Thank you. Let's get more on this now from earthquake expert Dr. Lucy Jones, a seismologist with the U.S. Geological Survey. And Dr. Jones, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tell us what these aftershocks mean and what they don't mean.
They mean that this is a normal earthquake. We should expect to have them like this, and they're decaying just like we would expect them to.
So not necessarily, as Ryan said in his piece, a sign of bigger things to come, even though it's been about 20 years since a major earthquake in California.
Well, that's right. And not in California, just
in
major
LA,
in California.
Sorry.
Anything really. Yeah, in the LA area, we really haven't had anything close to this, where we used to have them every year at this level. The last 20 years has been some of the quietest we've ever seen, and we have to return back to a normal level. We haven't stopped quake tectonics.
So does that mean we're in for a new kind of seismic season?
Well, we should expect it's possible. We might have just had this as a flurry and it'll go back down. We won't know for certain. It's like saying, is this storm connected to climate change? You have to wait and see how the pattern develops.
But there's so much concern here because this quake was on that Puente Hills Fault, which is especially dangerous.
Well, that's right. It's not actually on it. It's just above it, but associated with it. And it's a fault that doesn't move nearly as often as the San Andreas. We get big earthquakes from that fault every 100 years, and on the Puente Hills only every 2,500 years. But because it runs right under downtown Los Angeles, it's like the most damaging earthquake that we can imagine happening in this area.
Okay, Dr. Jones, thanks very much for your insight.